So it's Sheffield United who get us underway here. This rearranged encounter between these two. For Ipswich Town, level with bottom club Portsmouth, just that one relegation place. 2 to play after this one tonight. Staying up would be a remarkable achievement for Ipswich Town after the struggles of a maiden BWSL 2 campaign. But Sheffield United are here to maybe twist the knife that little bit more and seal their own survival with games to spare. Just 4 points between these two. Sheffield United go ahead 7 with 2 games to play. Job done for another season in maintaining their status in BWSL 2. They were heavily beaten at Southampton before the break, were Sheffield United. So all about a response, and that for Crystal Palace. David Wright was very happy not to make any changes. Such have been the performances. But what can they do here? As they're looking for a flag early here, the Blades, and they're going to get it. Princess Ademiui unable to time her run. Nicely worked. And then just couldn't keep herself onside. Player on loan from Gotham. Sheffield United just 1 win in the last 7 games in BWSL 2. It's Portsmouth at the end of March. But they have beaten Ipswich twice this season already, although both coaches not interested in any psychological advantages, maybe from those two. Sheffield United here with the experienced Sean Rogers in goal. Incidentally, WSL Football have launched their brand new app earlier this week, offering fans both the Barclays WSL and Barclays WSL 2 a front row seat to exclusive content. The game's broadcast on the league's YouTube channels. Just go and download the app for free, searching WSL Football in Apple Store or Google Play Store. Sheffield United motoring here. Oh, not that far away. Amy Andrews with a burst of real purpose. Just taking advantage of that touch from Boswell that in the end Andrews was able to take it on. 8 goals to a name this season. Andrews came in from Newcastle and played for Durham as well. Spent time in the United States, Western Illinois University and Tementa FC. And she knew where the back of the net was over there as well. David Wright, the Ipswich coach, speaking of needing to keep the wheels turning after that loss to Crystal Palace. What has changed since these two last met in the FA Cup, particularly for Ipswich in the recruitment drive? Really have had a positive bearing on their approach. Games of the second half of this season. Leanne Cowan with the throw. Second season after remove from London City. Head run again. Boswell is right there. And Kenzie Weir will just let this roll for Natalia Negri, who's on international duty recently. And players have come back without any injuries to deal with, which will have been a relief to both coaches. But the shot is stopped by Rogers. Flew straight at the goalkeeper. Still needed to be reactive here from Pescott. And just able to hold on to it at the very last moment. Encouraging start from Ipswich Town. I'm sure there'll be Portsmouth eyes watching this as well. Team they are level with. She's been saying since November, really, where they have to really keep their heads up. You can see for Butler. Butler has come through the club ranks of Sheffield United. Signed her first pro deal back in the summer. To keep the heat on here with this high press. Ipswich Town. Butler under pressure. Under pressure from Rowe. He's not hanging around with the throw. Let's sit down, not quite for Abby Lafayette. It was once upon a time Ipswich, an academy grad, and signed her first pro deal of her career with Ipswich. Taken on here by Kinzet. Looks to go over the top. Out of the reach of Butler. These are two teams who've not exactly shone in front of goal this season. The struggles have been real. But how goals can be so crucial and vital to survival chances. Pescott will try and whip one in here. Try and hound Sheffield United back into the corner. Andrews. Boswell looking to lead by example. Ipswich's captain. Ella Kinzet. Andrews. Kinzet will win the duel. Devlin. Here's O'Rourke. And Butler now. And looking for the cross. But only finds the side netting. Sheffield United have also scored 19 goals. It's the lowest scorers tonight, Ipswich. But if Ipswich were to win, they can drag Durham further into it. Put them ahead of Durham, a point behind Sheffield United. Butler with the layoff. That's Rouse. Devlin. Where's she going to go? The blue wall in front of her. Rouse again. Kinzer takes over now for Sheffield United. It's nicely done. Here's Emma Taylor, former Blackburn Rovers player. Taylor in towards Andrews, just out of her reach. And Kit Graham for Ipswich Town here. Great experience of playing at the top level. And the block leads to a corner. Taylor in the way from Ashworth Clifford. Scorer against Southampton. Big day at Pullman Road it was for Ipswich. Losing by 2-1 in that one. David Wright described it as a speed bump loss. Corner is floated in towards Rodgers, who has to deal with the sun and has dealt with it very well, the high ball. There's going to be a fair bit of tension out there, maybe some stray passes. Knowing what is at stake tonight. Maria Boswell, instead of the start of the season, it was about establishing themselves, being competitive. Competitiveness has suddenly been there. Boswell winning that challenge. Won't be too close to Rodgers here. Winning the ball back, and Graham with a delicate one over the top, just out of the reach. Good defending as well to just block off Ashworth Clifford. Devlin trying to get away from Mitchell, and Devlin can send Andrews away. Andrews, on she goes. So the cutback, and there was nobody there to follow up for Sheffield United. Well, she might just be asking the question, why wasn't there somebody there? It's away from Peak. And he was just asking for somebody to tap it home for the Blades. Try and pile the pressure on Natalia Negri in the Ipswich goal here. Piabi Lafayette. Hanging right up there. It's a deep one, which Taylor was coming in. Didn't get there in time. It could be bittersweet for Happy Lafayette if Sheffield United were to win here, and considering her Ipswich links. We'll keep the Tractor Girls firmly in trouble with games running out. Birmingham next for Ipswich, and then a home game against Sunderland to see out the season. Again, the press is good from Ipswich. And this is Ashworth Clifford. Can she finish it? It's a good save. Mitchell now can't take the ball with her. It's a big moment. Andrews. And Ipswich can turn it over again, but that's the clearest moment of the game, isn't it? A player who is their most recent goal scorer, Lucy Ashworth-Clifford. Here's Butler. Andrews. Calmness on the ball, Andrews. And the searching pass for Sophie O'Rourke. Just a bit too weighty, but this was the big one already, wasn't it? The amount of players there getting right into the faces of Sheffield United, and Ashworth-Clifford onto her right foot, but it's straight to Rodgers. He's got a couple of goals this season, most recent against Southampton, scored against Durham as well. So there is a warning shot to the Blades. Here's Rowe. Calm to find captain Marie Boswell. With the heart of their 4-year journey to get to the second tier. Mitchell. Support from Pescott. Touch just getting away from it, just allowed Butler to come in and get a block in. Pescott again. Declared by Taylor. Mitchell. Forehand here for Kavanagh. And that is going to be a teaser for Rodgers. And it's a test for the goalkeeper that she has passed very well. David Wright talking about how this is just simply like any other game. Ipswich have prepped like it's any other game. Spoken of his admiration as well for his opposite number tonight, Stephen Healy. He's enjoyed watching how they play and the different types of rotations that they have. Cross firm with Sophie O'Rourke. Beth Rowe with the throw in for Ipswich. Spin of the ball is going to keep this in play. Rowe. Ashworth-Clifford. Start again here through Kenzie Weir. It's rather aimless in the end. Loan from Everton. Dad David was a pretty good defender in his peak with Everton and with Scotland. Forcing Rodgers to go long here. Finding Lafayette. It's Kavanagh. It's one of their many January acquisitions. Kick Graham, another one here. Ashworth Clifford will hang it up, and there's nobody there in blue. Graham with the link up with Ashworth Clifford here. It's one of those to be attacked. There's nobody there to attack it for Ipswich Town. It's a blow potentially. Princess Saint-Domingue. A loan from Gotham, signed from West Ham United to the NWSL. And David right there in the centre of the trio. A chance for coaches to get their points across. Sheffield United have got Durham to play in their next game, which could be massive. It'll be a home to Bristol City in the final game of the season. Player adds a new dimension to our game, say the club, when Louis came in. One goal against Durham in their March victory. Here's Taylor. Been with Blackburn Rovers since she was 8 years of age, but Blackburn withdrawing from a league game. Save Sheffield United's bacon, really. Blackburn pulling out a bit of a reprieve after they finished bottom of the table, avoiding relegation themselves, the Blades, last season. Here is Taylor. Devlin. Amy Andrews. Away by Paige Peak. We're going to come right back at Ipswich here through Rouse. Andrews keeps it in play. Back for Rouse. Angle for a cross. It's fired in. Just too much on it. It's lacking that bit of quality in the final third on a tense old evening here in Colchester. Way by Rowe. With Clifford, and now Kit Graham. Getting some game time away from Tottenham Hotspur. A wretched injury look of Kit Graham. Free kick here for Sheffield United. Didn't see much in it from Graham on Devlin. Sophie Dannington giving the decisions right in front of the assistant on this near side. Delicately played in. Here's Andrews to keep it alive. Clearance only as far as Cowan for Sheffield United. Lafayette kind of speeded into the path of a teammate there. It was a goal after just 16 minutes that decided the last game for Ipswich against Crystal Palace. It was an absolute stunner from Kirsty Howard. Crystal Palace are flying, it has to be said. And David Wright's not been changing things though. He's an unchanged team for that game as well as it is tonight. Keeping the faith. Sherwood. Way by Boswell. Ademi Louis here. Well, making the ground and making it positively. She does say that she likes to make things happen. They needed that covering challenge from Sherwood. To learn from Leicester. Mitchell. Kit Graham. Oh, with the header, not far wide. Princess Ademi Louis here. Such as her height is going to be a real target in there for Ipswich. Just like the direction, and her reaction overall said it all. Ipswich creating the clearer moments so far inside this first half an hour. Graham looking to get into the back of Molly Rouse, but at the end, it's been stolen back by Mitchell, and the flag is going to go up again. Rogers gets there in time. That was a close one. But I think just when you look at that replay, shows that the pace is well and truly there, getting in behind the Sheffield United defence. It's going to be a free kick. I'll try and catch out Ipswich quickly here, but a little too quickly. Sheffield United have not been winners on the road since they actually beat Ipswich in the FA Cup. Remember in BWSL 2, their last away win. Can they make it happen here? Here's Pescott, just forced away from goal. Well, Sherwood did enough to maybe put her off at the very last moment, but the angle was getting more and more acute, which meant that the opportunity was getting more and more difficult. Three goals, 5 assists. This season for Ipswich, he's their primary creator of goals. Score of wonderful goals, most notably against Newcastle United earlier this season. Boswell. Andrews. Boswell was the arm raised. So Dennington does give the decision. It's fair to say Ipswich, yes, have had the better of the first half so far in terms of creating opportunities. 4-1, the clearest one yet for Lucy Ashworth-Clifford, which was well saved by Sean Rogers. And the quick throw for Graham. Pescott. He's found the space and gets the cross in as well. Here's Rowe. Sends it in once more, right onto the head of Taylor. Kavanagh. Start again here. Kenzie Weir. Peake and Weir again. Now Rowe. Rowe hits it, and they will get a corner. Pescott here, just patience, and then the confidence to get around Molly Rouse and whip in a really dangerous one. Ashworth-Clifford underneath it. Another corner to the Tractor Girls here. Can they make it count as we approach the final 10 minutes of the first 45? It goes towards Rogers. It's a bit of a mess in there, but they've dealt with it, Sheffield United, for now. Boswell. Mitchell to keep things ticking for those in blue. Rowe building some momentum here, Ipswich. Rowe, who's that for? Rogers can clear away. Straight to Kavanagh though. Rowe. Weir for Graham with a delicate touch on. And that's over. Colette Kavanagh. Always on the stretch. to keep this under control, but clever play here from Graham and that little dink over. A little fortunate the way that it sits down. Kavanagh putting it over. Another example of the hosts creating moments. And they've had some good ones so far. This is a team who have averaged the least amount of shots and big chances created in the league this season. Maybe just in the scrap from that corner. Sean Rogers has picked up an injury, but David Wright could be really pleased with what he's seen from his team so far. They know what they have to do. You think of what is at stake. As Rogers is upon her feet. After that knock, Sheffield United 19 points. Ipswich there on 15 as it stands. To go within a point of Sheffield United if they were to win this, Ipswich. Be just their 4th victory of the season. Here's Emma Taylor for Sheffield United. Rowe. Devlin and Taylor again. Simon Sherwood. Sheffield United's first signing in January. He's asking a lot of Devlin. Well, that tells the story. Sheffield United have had a fair bit of the ball, but it is Ipswich who are looking the most threatening. Taylor. Rogers has got a 1 clean sheet to her name this season. And no foul. Sherwood for Taylor now. Here's O'Rourke. And that's too close to Natalia Negri. England's under-23s during the international break, part of the under-23 European competition, beating Spain. Or in Spain, I should say. They beat Sweden. Rouse. Lafayette. Boswell eyes on the ball. Rouse up against Mitchell this time. Oh, that's cutely done. And the header away was a really important one from Rowe. Devlin. That's Butler. Kinzet. From Cowan. And now Andrews, promising this for Sheffield United. And again, strong defence. Ashworth Clifford getting the free kick. Encouraging certainly though from the Blades. There's a good spell with the ball. Just not able to make anything clear cut to really test Natalia Negri in the Ipswich goal so far. March the 15th against Durham, Ipswich's last of just 3 wins in BWSL 2 this season. They have been in a good place. They've been on a 5-match unbeaten run prior to the losing spree that they're currently on. Forward by Peak. Who will it sit down for here? Mitchell. Kenzie Weir. Lafayette. Cut out by Boswell. Tough for Sheffield United to create anything clear-cut so far. Goals in the first half were literally part of the story of both of their games against Ipswich this season, in the league and in the FA Cup. 3-2 at Bramall Lane back in October. Which way will this go? Stephen Walsh says it is a Blades throw. Rook. Cowan on the charge. Lafayette. Snuffed out here by Boswell. Settle for the throw, Ipswich on the approach to half-time. Boswell getting on with it quickly. De Pescott, and then cut out by Ella Kinzet, former academy player at Manchester United. Andrews scored both of their goals against Southampton in that 5-2 defeat down on the south coast. We have 3 additional minutes. 2 goals conceded just before half-time. It was a bit of a tough one to take for Sheffield United. And 3 goals and a red card after 86 minutes. Really put the game to bed. Jess Revel getting her marching orders towards the end. Graham, why not? Why not indeed? Now that would have been spectacular, and a spectacular end to the first half. Sat up so nicely for Kit Graham. That would have been an incredible goal. Yet to score since her arrival. Rotten luck with injuries and ACLs. Missed a lot of the, well, in fact, she missed all of the 24-25 season. Some 15 months away. Devlin. Here's O'Rourke, and won't keep it in play. O'Rourke was a scorer recently in BWSL 2. Spending most of her career in the second tier, she knows this level very, very well. Here's Rowe. Rowe's cross! Oh, good one. It was a good one. And Princess Madame just couldn't sort her body out to get a crucial touch towards goal. Maybe at an awkward height. Butler wanting a free kick here, not getting it. And then she's going to give one away. Posing the question to Sophie Dennington. And a yellow card for O'Rourke, I think, for just delaying the restart. So this should be it for the first half. Ashworth Clifford. They caused some havoc in there. Pesquet! The frame of the goal. And it's kept out by Rogers just. The follow-up from Weir. That close, Ipswich, from opening the scoring. My goodness, did Pesquet put everything behind that. Ashworth Clifford here, hangs up the corner. Oh, and it isn't this time! They make it count! Kenzie Weir rising to the occasion for Ipswich Town in a must-win. They're going to take a lead into half-time. Well, having come so close just moments ago, having rattled the crossbar, Kenzie Weir, what a leap. First goal for Ipswich could prove to be absolutely priceless. In deepest first half stoppage time. What a lift this could give the Tractor girls. Looking to chase their way away from danger at the bottom of BWSL 2. And a goal from Kenzie Weir right at the end of the first half. It could be huge going forward. Sheffield United haven't created much. Ipswich have created the better moments. And at half-time here, it is Ipswich 1, Sheffield United 0. So we're back underway. Ipswich leading by Kenzie Weir, 0-0. Test of Sheffield United's ability to score goals now. They average a goal per game this season. Team have only scored 19 goals. To Ipswich is now 18 goals. And here is Weir, full of confidence. He's not played that much since a move actually to BWSL 2. Getting starts against Crystal Palace and against Southampton, and now here tonight. Wasn't the recent Scotland squad against Belgium. Ipswich back to September, their sole home win. And that came against Portsmouth. It's Lafayette and Boswell. Ademiliui gets it back again here. Mitchell hounded, but in the end, the free kick does go Liam Mitchell's way. Charlie Devlin, frustrations. She's got to watch out. She is Sheffield United's most booked player this season. Has seen red as well. 2 players have been sent off. Glanced on, but no problems here for Sean Rogers. Best finish to date in the second tier. In the 1920 season, they finished second at the Blades. Extensive work going on in the background to improve the infrastructure around the women's team. Actually, Clifford is offside here, looking right down the line. And a yellow card as well. It must be infuriating for any coach. And getting a yellow card like that, just knocking the ball away. Rogers, now Leanne Cowan. He's a former Crystal Palace player, dominated by injury a time there. Andrews. Wants it back and will get it back again here. Andrews against Boswell. And Andrews, she might go all the way. We're stopping it. Back here from Molly Rouse. And now Amy Andrews. It's a little short, is it? Oh, the free kick will go Sheffield United's way. But Amy Andrews looking to strike fear into Ipswich's back line. It opened up nicely. found the Tractor Girls goal scorer in the way. Well, she says it's the best league and most competitive league. BWSL 2. What can Devlin do here for Sheffield United? She will go for goal. A player who scored twice against Sheffield, against Ipswich in the FA Cup, and also against them in the reverse league meeting in October. For a fair way out, it comes to nothing. Graham for Kavanagh. And over the top, and Rogers has come a long way from home. It's got to fall here for Pescott. Ipswich double their money. Into an empty goal. A goal that could mean so much to Ipswich Town. Goals right at the end of the first half and at the start of the second. Kavanagh over the top, and Rogers was committed, wasn't she? But she looked so uncomfortable. And in the end, it fell calmly and kindly to Pescott, who slotted in. And Ipswich now lead by 2. Fighting all the way to the end to preserve their status here, Ipswich Town. This time last year, they were getting ready to celebrate. Maria Boswell was ready to lead her team to promotion. Here's Andrews, just behind Butler. Having had a moment just previous to that second Ipswich goal, Sheffield United, they're on the back foot again here. It was never troubling Rogers on this occasion. They're going to make a change as well, at the Blades. Hankel was always against Princess Ademelouis. It's taken something quite special to have got the better of Rogers. What have you got about yourself now? Gonna have to show some Sheffield steel. But Pescott, she's on the march. They're looking for more. Oh, and it's blocked by Taylor. Extraordinary. Here's Rowe. Towards Kit Graham. Taylor there again. Mitchell. And it breaks down. Well, they are rocking big time on Sheffield United. Look at Pescott on the drive. The parry from Rogers, it just would not settle. Free kick goes Ipswich's way. What a first 10 minutes. Ipswich, who coming into this one, the most out of form team of having lost the last 3 in a row. Ashworth Clifford. Ipswich get a corner. And it goes towards Rogers. Dealt with it just about. Again, there was such a crowd in front of her. There have been some referees who would have blown up, actually. Here's Negri. He's had very little to do so far. Looking hungry. They're looking a real threat every time they come forward, Ipswich. They are rattled, Sheffield United. They can't keep hold of the football here. Kavanagh. And he goes for the throw. That's the option going to come from for Ashworth Clifford. He doesn't get much purchase on the throw. It just slipped out of her hands, perhaps. Kavanagh. Here's Rowe. Ashworth Clifford. Away by Sherwood. Still waiting to make that change. Sheffield United. Graham won't get there. Maybe this is the chance. So the first changes. And we're going to see the end of Leanne Cowan tonight. Looks like Lauren Thomas is coming on here. Thomas has got a couple of goals to her name. He scored in a League Cup defeat against Liverpool this season, but nothing in BWSL 2 for Sheffield United. He's a scorer in Blackburn days. Graham couldn't be found. Mitchell. Ashworth Clifford on the charge. The touch from O'Rourke was really important. Just takes any sting out of Ashworth Clifford's attempts to play the ball into a dangerous area. Gratefully taken to the possession of Rogers. They're not getting out here at all, are they, Sheffield United? Talk about being penned in. O'Rourke, that's a good recovery in the end. What to think where Ipswich were early January, bottom of the pile. 5 points or so from safety. How they've turned it around. There's no doubt that the winter recruits have had a major effect, positive effect. Devlin. Fair challenge from Graham. Clifford's offside. Hit the hour mark. Fabulous hour it has been for Ipswich Town. Oh, the pressure is real. The game's starting to run out at this stage of a season, and here we have a look at the standings, and you can see Ipswich making a move above Durham and to within a point of Sheffield United, and it'd be 3 points to Portsmouth as well. One thing that is in their favour also with regards to Portsmouth for Ipswich Town is their goal difference. Just slightly better, which you never know could play a part. How big Sheffield United and Durham will be at the weekend. We're under pressure, and she might just get a yellow card here. And dragging back Eva Butler. I don't think she'll mind that. Butler's strong, got the dangerous side of her, and clear as day. Pull back. Confirmation of that yellow card to Kenzie Weir. Could be a test of this for Negri. She passes that test. I don't know whether that ball was going to sit down nicely. Away by Kavanagh. Midfielder had been playing in Spain with Deportivo La Coruña in the first half of the season. That's a striker's attempt to try and win the ball. But Taylor here did well, and they came right through the back there of Molly Rouse. Just a free kick. Away by Graham. And a corner to Sheffield United. Ipswich with this two-goal lead, a real test of their defensive strengths. Although they have conceded some 40 goals this season. And comes the corner here and glanced away. Devlin, and Ipswich will take that. The flag is up more than anything for an offside. took a moment when it sat down nicely for her, Sophie Pescud. Absolute game changer she can be. Southern Premier Division Player of the Year last season. And 23 goals. It's a name into some Ipswich history, becoming the first women's player to sign professional terms. Away by Rogers for Sheffield United. Devlin. Here's Andrews. Against Boswell. Andrews, on she goes! Has to settle for a corner. Colette Kavanagh throwing herself in the way there. He had one thing on her mind here. Amy Andrews cut back inside. And launch an effort which was well blocked. Good spell in the game this for Sheffield United. Can they make something happen? Header in the end from Molly Rouse. Wide of goal it goes. So back to the UK, having played in the USL for Spokane Zephyr in the inaugural season of the USL. Just in the UK, she's played also in Germany with the great name of Turbine Potsdam. There's Lafayette. Andrews. Devlin. Andrews. And finds a pass as well. Butler. And one way then the other, and that's Devlin! Off the post. The closest Sheffield United have come to scoring tonight. Way by Graham. And they're given away to Taylor now. Could be the shot in the arm that Sheffield United have been craving tonight. A chance for Devlin. Lafayette. Blocked off by Graham and fairly, says Sophie Dennington. Here's Pescud. Pescud cut out. Here's Graham. Can have another go at this, maybe. Graham. And another block. Boswell! Oh my goodness! The captain with a beauty! Fabulous! Oh, drink it in, Maria Boswell. That is a moment to savour. And having had their own goal frame struck at the other end, they just couldn't clear, could they? Sheffield United. You will not tire of seeing that over and over again. First goal this season. A dream goal from the captain, who is leading the way, looking to lead Ipswich to safety in BWSL 2. Look at the fight, look at the hunger. And craving more here, the Tractor girls. Andrews. What can she do for the Blades here? Andrews looks for the pass. It is just not happening for Sheffield United. Three unanswered goals. They have scored three once before this season, all the way back to their maiden victory. Their only home victory when they beat Portsmouth 3-2. "20 minutes to play." Oh, and Negri. That is some stop. And top class from a goalkeeper who's had little to do. Still got to be on your toes. As we have a look back at the, well, that was the first goal. She will have the chance to see the goals again. Don't want to creep the door open here. Ipswich. Sailor and then Devlin and Butler. And Devlin! And they have scored! Charlie Devlin loves a goal against Ipswich this season. There's another. They scored in all three games against them. Has just breathed some life back into Sheffield United. And Charlie Devlin put everything behind this. Rowe couldn't do much on the line. Is there life in Sheffield United? Just a second attempt on target in the match. And all of a sudden, a chance for Sheffield United just to throw in some doubts to Ipswich. So David Wright is going to be making his changes. Pescott out of her reach. That's Lafayette. Graham. Look at Pescott on the way. And Pescott should be in for another one. It's Pescott still all the way. Brilliant! Sheer brilliance. Sophie Pescott. And that 3-goal cushion is restored for Ipswich Town. Well, they're always in trouble here, Sheffield United. The space, Pescott here, but she still had so much to do. Away from one and then another. And it needed a cool head. Four. And if there were any doubts after Sheffield United had scored their goal, they looked to have been banished again. Is Devlin taken away from her by Weir. Change is imminent for Ipswich still. And here's Devlin. It will be a corner to Sheffield United as we enter the final 15 minutes of the 90. Ava Baker, Rihanna Dean, ready to make an entrance. Short is the corner. Andrews. Oh, deflection on that. Cleared off the line. That was heading in. Thomas against Boswell, who does the primary job of stopping across. And the more that they're going to be pushing forward here, Sheffield United. There's the threat of a counter, lack of numbers which we saw for that fourth goal. Away by Paige Peak. But the chase is on here, Pescott. Oh, nearly blocked that. Kinzet. Molly Rouse gets the free kick from Boswell. And a yellow card to Ipswich's captain. Devlin again, and it's another waste again. Keep the moment for these Ipswich changes to be made. So Lucy Ashworth-Clifford is going to be coming off here. Princess Ademiliui is also going to make way, so here comes Ava Baker. And Rihanna Dean, who is Ipswich's joint top scorer. She was out there on her own before Sophie Pescott decided to score twice tonight. Dean, who did score twice against Sheffield United in their defeat to Bramall Lane back in October. To the action quickly, the two subs. Here is Baker. And Baker still. There she goes. That would have been quite the introduction, wouldn't it? The goal come from that, from those two. Eva Baker is one of those players who just loves to have the ball at her feet, driving old school at defenders. Is there enough of a pullback? I don't think there is. There's a call for some medical assistance here, but what a performance from David Wright's team tonight. Played 120 games for Ipswich, 3-year spell. Said that he hoped to be a manager one day, and know these surroundings pretty well, having played for Colchester. But despite results, defeats against the likes of Forest and Southampton and Crystal Palace in these last three, They've certainly not been worried about where they find themselves. Looks like Scarlett Hill's going to be coming on here for Sheffield United. Final 10 minutes. Oh, hobbling away. Sophie O'Rourke. Doesn't look as though she's going to be able to continue. So here we go, here is the change. Scarlett Hill on loan from Manchester United. It's a dual academy registration. Has had first team experiences with the first team of Manchester United in the BWSL, as well as in the Champions League, also qualifiers for United under Mark Skinner. United having had quite the adventure in a maiden European campaign this season. She goes to that far side, filling the gap left by Sophie O'Rourke. Here's Graham, she's been excellent tonight. Lafayette. And once again, there goes Rouse, who is being rushed. That's Dean for Graham. Baker on she goes. And Baker all on her own here. Cross comes Hill for a first real test. Matching the energetic Baker, stride for stride. Colette Kavanagh with this corner. There's won trophies in Scotland with Rangers and Celtic and with Hibs as well. Out to play it goes. Don't forget WSL Football, they've launched their brand new app earlier this week, offering fans of both Barclays WSL and Barclays WSL 2 a front row seat to exclusive content. The game's broadcast on the league's YouTube channels. Oh, square loose, and Dean's offside. You can download that app for free, by the way. Fans search WSL Football on the Apple App Store or through the Google Play Store. So Rogers restarts. Conceding goals aplenty again. Sheffield United, they conceded 5 at Southampton prior to this one. 4 here in Colchester tonight. Dean. kick Graham. For Ava Baker. Oh, and the flag's up. That would have been a terrific way to have well and truly sewn it all up. Lafayette. Lafayette, on she goes. And she's found a cross too, and wide. Ella Kinzert. And that may be just summing up how things have gone for Sheffield United tonight. A link-up play with Andrews and Lafayette, and Kinzert unable to even hit the target. Well, they had some life about them, didn't they, when Devlin scored on 72 to make it 3-1, but knocked out of him again when Peskett went up the other end just 2 minutes after to restore that 3-goal lead. And when they've needed to turn it on tonight, Ipswich, my, how they have done so. Great confidence they will take into their next game, but it's gonna be incredibly tough going to St Andrews, going to top of the league, Birmingham, who are in an extraordinary race, and with Charlton to be champions. Home to Sunderland. You sense on the final day of the season for Ipswich, it's going to be massive. But it also depends on how Portsmouth do, of course. Portsmouth, who've still shown that they've got some fight about them when they went to Charlton and won by a couple of goals to nil. Into the final 2 minutes of a memorable night. There's Rowe. Cavan has been everywhere. Rihanna Dean. Kavanagh again. Oh, that was a strong one. And the game continuing here, Sheffield United with Andrews. Amy Andrews. I was heading for the corner, but for Kenzie Weir in the way. Devlin, too close to Negri. Let's go back to this challenge here. Scarlett Hill not holding back at all. Will just not happen for Andrews tonight. Is made of some pretty stern stuff. Champions League experience when playing for teams north of the border. She made just 4 appearances in Liga FA this season with Deportivo. We're about to hit the 90. There are 5 additional minutes at the end of this one. Thomas, and now he goes for a corner. So here comes a legend. Calais Kavanagh will make way for Natasha Thomas. Record goal scorer, record appearances. And gets a wonderful ovation, Natasha Thomas. Straight into the heart of things. As this corner is lofted in, Thomas straight there, Devlin cannot keep it down. Andrews. It was Butler and away by Rose. Had a better occasion here tonight against Sheffield United. She was sent off in the reverse meeting at Bramall Lane. Andrews. Was Baker getting back? Here's Kinzet. Scotland Hill. She's done really well to win it back as well from Baker. Behind Thomas. That's Butler. Now Lafayette. Away from Dean. Taylor. And evades everybody, did. Pitch Pete get a touch on that? I don't think she did. Boswell and Graham getting in each other's way. It's Devlin. Anywhere will do. Did nothing back there, Paige Peak. Scotland Hill. Baker doing the very best, and there's nothing on for Hill. Pressure from Ava Baker. On from Thomas. It's Taylor. Into touch it goes. They will eat away at the clock here, will Ipswich Town. What a performance. A team who were adrift in January. But they've been working hard to put the points on the board, and this is massive. A monumental step towards safety for Ipswich Town. They have beaten Sheffield United in some style, a team they are looking to catch, and now within a point. But importantly for Ipswich, they have a 3-point buffer on bottom team Portsmouth. Kenzie Weir started the scoring, and the goals kept on coming in the second half with a double from Sophie Pescott. Charlie Devlin then got Sheffield United back into the game. There was life in the Blades, but then Maria Boswell popped up with a true beauty to make it 4, and Ipswich Town will celebrate their finest victory, their finest performance of the season, and have frustrated and denied Sheffield United the chance to secure their own safety here tonight. What a shift they have put in, and it's finished here in Colchester. Ipswich Town 4, Sheffield United 1. What a night, and you can see the amount of efforts on target as well, which were challenging Sheffield United, who had just the 3 on target in the whole of the game. Ipswich might have had, well, 39% of the possession, but overall defensively solid. This is a team who have the second leakiest back door in BWSL 2 this season. A disciplined performance at the back, certainly, from the Tractor Girls tonight. When they needed to put in a performance, they have done. And Ipswich Town 4-1 victors. And so the table. Look how close it is down at the bottom there. So Portsmouth at the bottom in that relegation place on 14. Durham just 2 points ahead of them now. Ipswich 3 points clear with a much better goal difference as well above Portsmouth, and then just within a point of Sheffield United, who have been beaten on their travels again. Ipswich have ended this run without a win, 3 successive defeats into this one tonight, and my goodness, have they turned up when they've needed to this evening. So let's have a look at the goals then, and the drama of what has happened here tonight at the JobServe Community Stadium. Started just before half-time. The first goal of the game, deep into first half stoppage time, and Kenzie Weir with a header. And a set piece, the undoing of Sheffield United. This just moments after they rattled the crossbar. And Kenzie Weir with the first goal for Ipswich Town. A big goal to send them on their way. Into the second half. And an error of judgment from Sian Rogers. And she came out to try and meet this, but got herself into all sorts of bother. And the loose ball falling into the path of the dangerous Sophie Pescott. She wasn't missing from there. And Pescott scoring her 4th goal of the season, but one to forget for Sian Rogers, and goals for Ipswich at the end of the first half and right at the start of the second half. Always a threat coming forward, Ipswich. Kit Graham here with one swing and then having another one. And they couldn't clear it away, and then all of a sudden Boswell came up with this. Absolutely spectacular from the captain. A proper leader shift from Maria Boswell tonight. And this just capping off a memorable evening under the lights. A player who has been at the heart of their journey. But there was life in Sheffield United, and we're able to get one back through Charlie Devlin. He's got a knack of scoring against Ipswich this season, having scored in all of their meetings in the league and in the FA Cup. And that was a route back. Ipswich failing to clear their line, so no clean sheet for them. Still just the one clean sheet, and two between these two all season. But Devlin scoring to give Sheffield United hope, but then all of a sudden that was extinguished. Struggling for numbers at the back, Sheffield United, and Pescott keeping it cool here beyond one and then another, and to finish off to make it 4. That 3-goal cushion they had managed to drag back, and they did not look back from here. Quite the night, quite the performance from Ipswich Town, who had to win this to make sure that they were still in the fight for survival. Sheffield United not winning here, unable to secure their status here tonight. A wonderful watch, and Ipswich winners by 4 goals to 1. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.